if you will, push it off to the side and simply say, based on section 221B, and overlook all that and just deny someone through that.
Yeah.
And if you will, it's easier to do it that way because it's harder to overcome. If they cite this, it's easier to overcome because then all you have to do is find the regulation and point out where they're wrong. 221B, the consular officer is always right.
So if you go home this fall or next fall, even if you go home this fall and you've only been here a year or a year and a half, you still have to go through the embassy to get a new stamp to come back here. And every time you come back, you still need to pass that test to prove to the embassy that, you know, this is just a job with Indonesia, Namibia, Taiwan, South Africa. That is my home. That's where I plan to be. And so even if the 3 years is enough, that is something that you always come up against.
Now, like this papers you're telling about this on the email, like when I take this papers to Namibia embassy, but those stuff like from Jacob to John, what, did they make any sense for Namibian embassy or not?
Well, what Roger tried to explain is that there's a United States embassy in all the countries around the world.
Yeah.
And they don't get their rules from Namibia or from Indonesia. Each of those embassies, those buildings or those facilities, they get their rules from the United States. And so the embassy in Namibia gets the same set of rule books as the embassy in Indonesia.
Yeah.
John Jacobs is not posted in Namibia, the guy on this email.
Yeah.
But, you know, it sounds like he emailed someone in the United States to say, what is the interpretation of this law? And I can't remember what the bureau is called that answered him back, but they said, well, this is how we interpret this for the embassy. And so I think it is worth hanging on to. I don't think that's something that necessarily will come up in your interview. The important part is proving that you are just coming back for a job and that it's temporary. If you are denied at your interview, not based on whether you have ties to your country, but based on, you know, the timing of it, how many months and how many years, then this email may come in handy. But, you know, it's not anything written in gold, it's just a copy of an email, but I think it could be helpful if you have problems. I think that kind of answers that. But. Bryce, could you come up and talk about Medora a little bit? I know we've been here a while, and we want to try to so thank you for being very patient. I think we're getting good information to you.
Well, you know, this last weekend we had an exciting weekend. It was the Rough Rider Roundup. That's where our board members and big donors of the foundation came out. Something else that happened that was exciting, and you with group of employees that knows that.
Oh, you met Emily before? Yeah, everyone who works with Big Sky.
Processing. And so we continue to do that, and we're in contact with their offices of labor. He's the person we...
Okay. Are you planning to come back to the U.S. for also my U.S.? Okay. Well, what we are finding out is if you wait and work all the way through your 3 years, through the spring of next year, if you go home then, you will have to stay there for 6 months. If you go home this fall, then you may not have to stay up there. But I just want to know whether you need to while you guys are all here, I'm going to take a picture of all these international people. So you guys come fill in these chairs.
Very.
I think you guys all sit down.
Let's go. Wake up.